Well, once again, thank you guys for being here. We are celebrating, kicking off Donate Life Month here in grand fashion. Look at this right here. Tonight we're celebrating bone marrow donation, right? And we're going to talk about what that means tonight. We're also talking about organ, eye, and tissue donation and what that means and how each and every one of you guys play a critical role here in our community in helping save lives. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my pleasure to bring the host of this event right on up here to this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for City Councilor Renee Grout. Come on up. And if you guys want to come over this way, you most certainly can. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. We're going to have some activities. We're going to get a chance to hear from a lot of different folks. And, well, we're just going to have a little bit of fun. So, Councilor Grout, thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank you all. We're a small but mighty crowd. And we're here for a good cause, good reasons. I want to welcome you all. We're here to light up City Hall. April 1st, April is a Donate Life month, and so we are going to celebrate all those that have donated to be a hero and help somebody's life continue on Earth. We're also here for another reason. It's a little bit personal. Welcome. I just want to say hello to everybody. Being a city councilor is one of my jobs. But I'm also a mother and a grandmother. I have 9 beautiful grandchildren. I've got 2 grandsons and 7 granddaughters. My youngest grandson is 2 years old, and he has Adrenoleukodystrophy, which can be fatal if it's not treated. And he's 2 now. Oh, he's up there. My daughter and her family, they live in Dallas. They were going to be here, but William's not feeling very good today. But we're here to promote organ and tissue donation and bring awareness to this disease. It's a very rare disease, and it's not very well funded, like through research and so forth. So my daughter and my grandson, or my son-in-law and his father, started a foundation. It's called Will to Cure, and through that they are funding different research projects. Tyler, my son-in-law, also is a board member now of ALD Connect, and in the last year we have raised close to $3 million for research. Just recently they granted to 6 different organizations of $1.2 million, and they're all connected, so they're all talking to each other so that this research can go somewhere. I can tell you that through the years, through all of this research, things are happening. Will to Cure has diversified its investments, and the money that they've raised is going to preventive therapies, drug repurposing, gene therapy, and their research partners that they have granted gifts to are the Kennedy Krieger Institute, Massachusetts General Hospital, Stanford University, the University of Amsterdam, the University of Minnesota, and the University of Utah. We are very blessed. We are a blessed family. William has a wonderful team of doctors. We have insurance, so he's taken care of. But there's a lot of families out there that don't have the tools that we have, and so that's what we are aiming to do, is to help them and hopefully find a cure too for William. We need to find, the one thing that we do need is one day William may need a stem cell transplant. So we need a donor. We need a 100% match donor. his big sister Emma is a 50% match, but he would have a better chance of life if we could find a 100% match. And you don't have to be related. And it's very interesting what makes a match. You do need to be between 18 and 35. Those seem to be the best success stories. But you can also, through other ways, you can donate organs. Like I can be an organ donor, and that's what I'm going to do. I used to be scared about it, but I didn't know a lot about it. But I understand the need and how I can become a hero to somebody, and that's important. And so I'm hoping that we have a lot of people here tonight that have been recipients of an organ transplant, or they have been heroes to somebody, and so I'm excited to hear their stories. There are over 65 diseases that can be treated with stem cell or bone marrow transplants, and there are thousands of people that are waiting for these matches. I want to thank the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fellas for being here tonight, because they're over here in the corner. They are here, and I met them at the university campus at the NMDP table. They were tabling there, and they were signing up people from the university. That's the perfect place to find the age that we need. And so they know all about this. They know about, they've been working with NMDP quite a bit, so they know a lot more than I do. So we're going to ask AJ to come up here in just a minute. But being a donor for stem cell, it's easy to find out if you're a match. It's just a cheek swab on this side, and then on this side, and then you mail it in. And then also, if you turn out to be a match for somebody, the process to go through that donation is not as invasive as an organ transplant. So it is something to consider, giving a life to somebody else. Let's see. Most of the time it's like donating blood platelets. You just have to be 18 to 35, and I'm going to encourage you, if you are in that age range, to consider doing so. I'm too old to be a bone marrow donor, but I'm not too old to be an organ donor, and so that's what I'm going to do, is sign up to do that. I also want to thank everybody here who has donated. You have made a difference. That decision that you made on behalf of a loved one or someone else, your gift has saved somebody's life. Thank you all for being here. Louise, where are you? We have lots of stuff over there for you guys. You can try it.
All right, here we go. Give it just a second. Here we go. All right. Well, thank you, Counselor Grout. Don't leave just yet. Hang out up here with us. Thank you kindly for sharing, what is in your heart and what you've experienced. And thank you for bringing this all together here and recognizing the need here in our community. We're forever grateful for that, and we're super appreciative of you and this great feat of lighting up our entire city in blue and green to create that awareness that our community needs. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. Please hang out up here with us. There are also some folks here that we also want to recognize here. Would you like to recognize them?
Oh, yes, I do. I want to recognize a couple of counselors that are here. Counselor Dan Lewis, who is a donor himself, so he's going to come up and talk with us here in a little bit. And then Counselor Dan Champagne. We went on an adventure last week. So, but these are the two Dans, and I'm so glad I get to work with them because they're pretty awesome people.
And then I'd also like to invite Representative Colin up. Come on. She is also a living donor and has championed donate life legislation in the House for us repeatedly represented.
All champions in one way or 10 others, right? So thank you all for being here. And of course, Selena Espinosa. Many of you guys know Selena as the face of Donate Life New Mexico. And she is taking on a new role to make sure that we're continuing the fight. And we're taking that message to our children in school, and she's going to talk to you guys a little bit about that. But how about a round of applause for everyone that's here with us tonight? And we're going to just do a good old pass the mic, and we're going to start off with Counselor Lewis. Come on up here, and we'd love to hear your story about organ donation, if you would, please.
Well, thank you so much to Luis and Selena and the great leadership at Donate Life New Mexico. I love the community that surrounds Donate Life New Mexico, and I've been a part of it, and I know many of you, some of you, I went on a trip to the Transplant Olympics with my brother in Minnesota years ago, and it's been just such a special privilege getting to know many of you. Every one of us we all have needs, and every one of us, God created us with the ability to meet those needs as well. When I gave a kidney to my brother, it was 25 years ago. He's doing really well. He's had that kidney 25 years, and he was a state representative for 10 years after that. He had 4 children after that. He is a great dad, and he's raising those kids now. And just a real privilege to, obviously, when you have an opportunity to do something for someone that you love and someone that's in need. And so very grateful for him. And I'm also just amazed at how God has given us these backup systems. You know, God gave me 2 kidneys, and it turns out I didn't need one of them. You know, I need just one of them. I do need one of them. But my brother needed that. And God knew that. And so just grateful for him and his family, and grateful for the support that we get through Donate Life New Mexico and all of you. So thank you all very much. It's a great privilege to sponsor the proclamation each year over the years, just raising awareness at City Hall. Excited about lighting up City Hall tonight, green and blue. It needs to be lit up, and certainly what a great way to really shine a light on a great need that we have here in New Mexico and all around us. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Counselor Lewis. Always appreciative. What he did not tell you is that he has mad dancing skills, which he's going to show you just a little bit later on with the fine young gentleman from UNM. And so if you guys would hang tight with us, you'll be able to witness that. And so with that, we'd like to invite Counselor Champagne to join us here. And I got to tell you, he is one sharp dressed man. Look at this, right? If you want to do great things, you got to look great while you're doing it, and this man does that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is my first time at this event, so I appreciate and I thank the offer to be a part of this. I don't have a story. I didn't donate. I don't know anybody who has ever donated an organ or saved a life, but the only thing I can relate is I wasn't an organ donor when I was younger. And I don't know if it was age that changed it, but several years ago it dawned on me that you're able to help somebody after you go on by being an organ donor and being their champion and affecting that life. So if you are not an organ donor, please sign up. Know that your life can touch many other lives past yours. And that's the whole point. That's the point of the legacy. That's the point of living, is to be able to help your fellow man or woman and extend that life and give back to the many wonderful things that life is. So I appreciate it tonight. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to introduce Representative Catherine Cullen. She has championed legislation for us in the state legislature, asking that the donation heart be placed on all state licenses. It was passed unanimously through one committee, which was a giant feat. We know how things in Santa Fe move, sometimes glacially slow, but we hope to get there again next year and when it's a longer session. But I'll let you tell your story and just thank you for everything you do in our community. Like checking here?
Hi, I'm Catherine Cullen. I also donated a kidney 25 years ago, back in January, to my mother. She had type 1 diabetes, and we knew that she would eventually need a kidney. So growing up, I always said that, hey, if you ever needed one, I would be there for you. And then the time came 25 years ago. So it was, not a hard decision whatsoever for myself, because I had always known that that's something that I would do. And with Dan, actually, I was with him with the Team New Mexico for the U.S. Transplant Games, and so I'm very excited that we have Team New Mexico coming around for this next games up in Denver, Colorado. So since I had donated a kidney, I've been very involved with organ donation. I served on a living donor committee for UNOS to advocate for living donors, and I've also advocated for our recipients and donor families. So I have nothing else to add. I think Dan and them have covered it, most of it. So thank you so much for being here, and excited to see you light up tonight.
We would like to take a moment to recognize all of the heroes in the audience. If you are a family of a donor hero, would you please raise your hand? Thank you so much. Woo! If you are a recipient and here because of a hero who said yes and their family, will you please raise your hand? Yay. If you are currently waiting for a transplant or on the waiting list or know somebody who's on the waiting list, if you would please raise your hand. We are praying for all of you. And if you are a living donor, which is a huge deal and such a gift, if you would please raise your hand. I see Lucy out there. And your donor hero. I'd like to bring Crystal and her mom up. Crystal is a heart recipient. I actually didn't meet Crystal and her family. I met her grandma and her sister at Balloon Fiesta 3 years ago. Crystal was still waiting for a heart at that time, and she was in the hospital with her mommy. And I think like 3 months later, her grandma called me and said that Crystal had received a heart, and then the next Balloon Fiesta, we were able to get Crystal out there and meet her and learn all about her story. Crystal, do you want to talk, or are you going to let Mama talk? Mama talk.
Hi everyone, this is Crystal. Crystal is now almost 5 years old. She spent over 400 days in the hospital waiting for a heart transplant from 18 months until 2.5. She was in the hospital, so this is what organ donation looks like in a kid. She gets to live a normal childhood now, run around. You see her running around. She looks normal. She's living after, her heart was in failure. She was pretty sick, and somebody chose to say yes on their hardest day. And because they lost their child, they saved mine, though, because they chose to say yes. So I'm just out here to spread awareness, make sure everybody, is out there donating and making an impact every day to save lives.
Can I tell you what your favorite food is? I know what it is. It's broccoli, you guys. I'm not kidding. Broccoli is her favorite food.
Actually, her favorite food has moved from broccoli to milkshakes, isn't that right? She's not with it today.
Thank
But
you,
it did
Deborah
move,
and
so
Crystal.
we're working on a broccoli milkshake for Crystal. And, well, I don't know if she's going to enjoy that or not.
Kale milkshakes, so that please.
Well, so tonight is all about hearing stories of hope, right? And to help us understand what it's like, we have one of our very own, a liver transplant recipient, Miss Victoria Yoakum.
Hi everyone. First, I want to thank everyone for coming. We really appreciate the support. This is an awesome turnout for us. My name is Victoria Yoakum, and my life was saved almost 4 years ago because of organ donation. I was diagnosed with the rare liver disease Wilson's disease when I was 5 years old. Despite being told that I would never need a transplant and that my disease could be managed with medication, my health declined steadily as years passed. My childhood memories are comprised of daily struggles with debilitating pain and symptoms that seriously impacted my ability to live. I always felt lost and frustrated, searching for answers and trying to advocate for myself. At 16, I ended up in the emergency room as a result of being overprescribed and overdosing on the medication that was meant to treat my disease, that was meant to sustain my life. It was a traumatic experience that left a lasting impact on my body and my mind. I had to further restrict my already very limited lifestyle, and I grew to resent my own body for its inability to function properly. It felt like I was constantly fighting against myself and battling with the doctors to take me seriously. By the time I turned 21, my body could no longer tolerate any food or medications, leaving my liver disease untreated. My health and quality of life continued to rapidly deteriorate, and the countless tests, multiple medications, and referrals to different specialists didn't seem to make any difference at all. When I was 23, I felt like I had exhausted all of my options, and I had accepted that I would probably never feel healthy. I began to question if I could live much longer suffering like this. I felt like I was dying, and I had honestly come to find comfort that I wouldn't have to suffer much longer. After losing complete faith that I would ever find help, I heard about the Mayo Clinic in Arizona. I was hesitant to go because I felt like I couldn't handle any more disappointment, but I was also desperate and I had nothing to lose. I called it my last-ditch effort. I drove the 6 hours from New Mexico to the Mayo Clinic emergency room, and I was admitted immediately. I felt like I had finally found a medical team that heard me and took me seriously. Shortly after arriving, I was told that my liver was an end-stage failure and that I only had a week before it was completely gone. It was a shock that I wasn't prepared for, as I didn't realize how sick I had truly become. To me, it was just normal life to feel so sick every day of my life. I was under the belief that my liver was stable and that I would never need a transplant. It was decided that I would be listed for a liver transplant, and due to the severity and emergent nature, I was listed A1 status, which is #1 in the whole entire country for a new liver. I was so blessed to only wait for 7 days before receiving my life-saving transplant on June 17th, 2022. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, sorry. This was the day that my life completely transformed for the better. I woke up from the surgery feeling better than I ever had before. I was discharged from the hospital 3 days later, and I've been the happiest and healthiest I've ever been since. I feel like I'm finally able to live my life and enjoy it without pain and limitations. I've developed an immense appreciation for my existence, and all of the stresses and problems that I had before seem so much less important now. I've gone skydiving, I've climbed mountains, and I've done things that I never thought I would be capable of. I feel like I am truly just happy to be here in front of you guys. Organ donation truly saves lives and improves the lives of so many others, and I am a living testament to that. The heroism of organ donation is awe-inspiring, and I am forever grateful to my donor hero, Manuel, and his beautiful family for giving me a second chance at life. His selfless act of organ donation has not only saved my life, but has given me the opportunity to pursue my dreams and make a difference in the world. I'm a true believer that there are never any accidents, and I feel like I was given a second chance at my life for a reason. I feel so humbled and blessed to be here, and I will continue to advocate and share my story to help others understand the profound impact of organ donation. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for sharing your story, Deborah. Thank you for sharing your story. I got to tell you, I get the opportunity to work with these folks day in and day out, and every time each one of them shares their story, I can't help but get a little teary-eyed, right? Because it truly is the gift of life, right? It truly is. And to hear some of the things that she's gone on to do, skydiving, it's a little crazy to me, but hey, you know what? It happens. And so when you get that gift, you want to live your life to the fullest. And we're very appreciative. So thank you guys for that. Right now, I'd like to invite AJ Beta and the entire crew from the Sigma Alpha Epsilon to join us up here. These young men are the epitome of putting in the work in serving our community, right? And so these young men have found it upon their hearts to drive home the message and to deliver that message for you tonight. Are you guys ready for the dance? Okay, can we get everybody to line up? Let's get everybody lined up here. Okay, we really didn't work on it. We tried, but Rachel cut us off. She said we had to get with the program and no dancing. So how about a round of applause for AJ and the group?
Thank you guys. No clue I was speaking tonight, so here we go. My name's AJ Beta. Behind me are my brothers of Sigma Alpha Epsilon, and we have the honor of joining you guys tonight. My role for the fraternity is I'm the Service and Philanthropy Chairman. With that role, we work with NMDP tons. Our mission through SAE is to be true gentlemen and help where needed throughout the community. And it's not just a motto for us, we live it almost every single day of our lives. Through our mission, we partner with NMDP. We save lives for patients with blood cancers and blood diseases. 2 weeks ago, we held our annual event on campus. We raised over $5,000 for NMDP. We had around 200 people join the registry to help people in need. A couple weeks ago, we had the pleasure of meeting Councilwoman Grout. She then told us a story about her grandson, William, who needs a transplant to survive, and we decided that beyond campus, we'd come out here and help the Albuquerque community. We're joining everyone tonight in hopes that people between the ages of 18 and 35 will take a few minutes and visit the NMDP table in honor of Council William Grout and her grandson, William. A simple cheek swab could be done tonight, and it will take the first step to being the cure for William or someone like him. Registration takes just a few minutes, and once you're on the registry, if you're a match for a patient, the most common way to donate cells to save their lives is similar to donating. Our ask is simple: visit the NMDP table, register to be a donor, and host a drive of your own. And for that, on behalf of all the brothers of Sigma Alpha Epsilon, the University of New Mexico, and NMDP, we wish William a full, healthy healing process, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
He's got a really unique experience because he gets to see the inside of what happens with organ donation firsthand, but he's also participated in being a donor himself. Not an organ donor, but a bone marrow donor. And so tonight he's going to tell you about that experience. He's going to tell you what it's like to be a bone marrow donor. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to our beautiful stage, Mr. Danny Sanchez.
Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Danny. I am the organ recovery coordinator for New Mexico Donor Services. What that means is don't cry. I always tell myself don't cry. Okay. What that means is I meet families at the very end of a tragedy. And I am not instrumental in getting that yes for donation. What I do is I help with that donor all the way to the OR so they can become lifesavers themselves. So I had the unique opportunity to become an organ donor myself. I want to thank my wife who who's always wanted to do it, but I never could because I was in the Army. So as soon as I got out of the Army, my wife was like, we're doing this, I'm signing you up. And I told her, it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm never gonna get picked. It's rarer. To be a bone marrow donor is so rare. And I just was telling myself, it's not gonna happen. 2 months later, I got the call that there was a sick kid on the East Coast who's 10 years old with, what does he have? He has a rare blood cancer. And I happened to be the match. And that was amazing. And initially I was told, he's too sick, it can't happen. And I said, okay, that's fine, I'll be ready. And then, I want to say another week later, they said, hey, he's better, you need to do this now if you want to do it. And without a moment's notice, I told my wife we're going to Washington, D.C., and I became a bone marrow donor, which is incredibly rare because a lot of people just donate with blood. I was so close to the match that they needed me to be a bone marrow donor. It's been, July will be a year, and it's anonymous. So if the family wants to meet me, if I want to meet this young kid, it's up to them. And if they never meet me, it's okay. I just know that I saved someone, and it was selfless, and that's just who I am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Danny. How about a round of applause for Danny? And you got to hear the in-depth story. So if you get a chance, we want to make sure that you have that opportunity as well. And so we're going to continue on here. We haven't heard from a donor hero family yet, and so with that, I'd like to invite our well-decked out, the young talented Miss Natalie Rivera. Mind you, she's the only Burqueña, Nueva Mexicana, that has a Donate Life hat. I'll just let that lie where it be, right? Okay. Thank you, Natalie.
We should make more. So I am here as a donor family member. I am blessed to be representing two amazing men tonight who were both donors, and so I will try and keep it brief while still representing the honor of both of these gentlemen. When I was growing up, my mom had a bumper sticker on her car that said, "Don't take your organs to heaven, heaven knows we need them here." And so that was always a conversation in my family of how we can donate life, how we can donate blood, plasma, bone marrow, and organs when we pass. And so I am here because my best friend, who was basically a brother to me, in fact, Renee and I are honored to attend the garden party of his mother this coming Easter Sunday, of Father Graham Ross Golden, as well as my biological brother, Dominic Robert Richard Rivera. So beginning with Father Graham Ross Golden, I knew him when he was a pimply 14-year-old. He was my first friend that I made in high school. He was generous beyond compare. He was the person I logged on to AOL 2.0 Instant Messenger to chat with every day after school, because there were not cell phones where you could text each other. He eventually decided he was called to become a Norbertine priest here at the Abbey in the South Valley of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He was so generous with his time that it was hard for me to get time with him. And so I, in fact, bought a house in the South Valley so that I could be close to my best friend, because that was going to be the residence for his entire life. And he is buried there today. He is well known in the community. He ran Holy Rosary Parish for many years. He baptized my son, Renee, and he worked to save lives every day in all that he did, whether it was him and I driving around and handing out water to the unhoused or providing charity or saving people through the power of Christ. He opted to work on a rare day that he had off, which was always aggravating to me because it was a day when I might have been able to see him, but he decided to do work that day. And after a long day, went to go get some food at Dion's Pizza and pulled out onto Coors and was struck by a drag racing driver and passed away. And so even with his last act, he saved lives by being a registered donor. My brother Dominic Robert Richard was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. When he was born, I actually cried because I already had 3 brothers and he was the 4th, and I really wanted a younger sister, but he would have made a terrible woman. So it worked out in the end. He was my best friend, my confidant, and occasional mortal enemy, as all siblings are from time to time. He moved to New Orleans for college and built a life there. He was the general manager of the Joy Theater, which is the 2nd oldest theater in New Orleans. He also did sound for events like this and for Mardi Gras events. And then he was also a video assist in all of his free time. He worked basically all the time, but he was a video assist for many of the things that were filmed in Louisiana, and his final work being Sinners. And he didn't get to see it make it to the big screen, but he did assure us at the time that Michael B. Jordan is as generous and kind as he seems. He always had these celebrity names that he was dropping. His way of living was to be a better man today than he was yesterday, and a better man tomorrow than he was today. He was coming to visit Albuquerque, and so he had to re-up his driver's license in Louisiana and elected on August 13th to be a registered donor again. He consented on his driver's license when he re-registered, and November of that same year, he passed away. I am so saddened by their loss, but so incredibly honored to know that they live on in all of the ways that they gave to people emotionally and physically in their lives, but also that they live on. My brother's beautiful eyes are now helping someone else see this gorgeous world. Please register, please encourage others to register, and please support Team New Mexico as they go to the transplant games this summer in Denver, Colorado.
Thank you, Natalie. And I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but you can register right here, right now, tonight, today. You visit the booth right over here, and they'll make sure that you get swabbed. They can let you know, if you are a good donor, right? And if you are not registered to be an organ donor, well, guess what? You don't have to wait to go to the motor vehicle department to renew your driver's license to register to be an organ donor. You can go to donatelifenm.org, and you can register right online, and it happens just like that for you. So if you haven't, please do so tonight. We would greatly appreciate that. We're going to continue on, and these next 2 folks here are near and dear because they're the drivers after we recently lost our main driver, and they're going to tell you about him. But they're the drivers of Team New Mexico. That is the Transplant Games of America team that is going to go compete in June at the Transplant Games of America. And we're hoping that they're going to make all of you guys proud, New Mexicans, by bringing home the gold. But to continue us on here, we've got Anna Maria. Come on up. Anna, that's a bad habit of mine. I have a sister-in-law named Anna Maria. This is Anna Marie.
Hi, my name is Anna Marie Goulet Duran, and I'm standing here today because someone I never met made a selfless choice that saved my life. Not long ago, I was just living my life, busy, hopeful, and completely unaware that my body was quickly failing me. I was diagnosed with a genetic liver condition that affects Hispanics. Nearly half of the Hispanics in the United States are at higher risk for liver disease, yet only a small percentage are donors. Like many in our community, I didn't know about that risk. I didn't even know my full family health history. No one ever talked to me about it. My mother, my brother, and 3 weeks ago, my sister died of liver disease. By the time I truly understood what was happening, my liver was failing. The life I knew was slipping away, and a transplant became my only chance to survive. Waiting for an organ is a fear that's hard to put into words. Every day it carries hope, and every night carries doubt. You wonder if time will run out. You wonder what will happen to the people you love. You wonder if your day will end too soon. Then came the call on June 6, 2023, the call that changed everything. Because one person chose to become an organ donor, I was given more time, more mornings, more memories, more life. That gift didn't just save my body, it changed me. It opened my eyes to how many people are suffering in silence, how many are diagnosed late, how many don't know if they're at risk because conversations are never taken about your health and your family's health. That's why I'm here today. I'm here to say that we need to talk about our health. We need to ask questions, learn our family histories, and get checked early. Awareness can save lives. Mine is a living proof of that. Also, we need more organ donors. Right now, between 400 and 600 people in New Mexico are waiting for an organ transplant in our state. And only kidney transplants are done. I had to receive my liver in Arizona at the Mayo Hospital. But yet, in 2024, New Mexico had 95 organ donors, and because of that, 241 lives were saved. Organ donation is not about death. It's about life. It's about hope. It's about giving someone else the chance to watch their children grow, to laugh again, to dream again, and for me, to travel more. I am a living proof that one decision can change everything. If sharing my story encourages even one person to take action, to have a conversation, to get tested, or to register as a donor, then every difficult moment of this journey has been worth it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening, thank you for caring, and thank you for helping me give others a second chance at life that I was so blessed to receive. In addition, next to me is my husband, Joseph Duran, who became my caregiver when I got sick. Caregivers sometimes are not, get the kudos that they should because we're sick and they're having to take care of us. So if I didn't have my husband, I would have been taken care of, and now he's my caregiver for life, and we're both here, and we're both going to forge forward and continue to, encourage people to be organ donors. Thank you. Louis?
I'd like to introduce you to Mark Rodriguez. Mark was a driving force in bringing back Team New Mexico. He fought with me. He fought with Selena. He fought with 5 executive directors. He fought with everybody that he could to ensure that New Mexico had a team representing the Transplant Games of America. And this is the team that he built here. And sad to report that Mark became ill, and he just recently passed and left us to fly home with the angels. And so I'm going to pass the microphone to his number one partner in crime. No crying, right? We'd like to honor Mark right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucy Reyes Salazar, and now I get to fight with Luis on a regular basis. Mark was amazing. Mark was just very inspirational, and Mark brought this team to life. My husband here and Mark have been friends since kindergarten, so we've known Mark our whole lives, and he mentored me through my transplant journey, got me through a lot of dark times. He just knew how to talk to people. He knew what to say, when to say it, what you needed to hear. He introduced me to the games and asked me if I knew about them, and didn't ask me to help him, told me I was going to help him. And yes, and then Deborah got told, and then Daniel got told, and I kind of voluntold everybody who's up here now that they needed to help me. So here we are. We are now, unfortunately, Mark left us on the 13th, and we now do this in his honor. We are going to make Team New Mexico big. He had big dreams for us. We're going to go big. We plan to keep this going after June when we go to Denver. 2028 will be in Grand Rapids, so we just plan to keep going. We're doing a lot of community outreach. We've spoken to so many people in the community. People are finally starting to know who we are, finding us and emailing us and messaging us on Facebook, and we're just I'm so proud of the team that we have here and everybody getting out and telling their stories, because this is what transplant looks like, and there's life after transplant. Organ donation saves lives, so if you're not an organ donor, please become one. Also, if there's anyone here that is interested in joining the team, we are always looking for new team members. So in October 2010, after my annual medical checkup for work health insurance, I was told I needed to see my PCP because my blood work was abnormal. In just 1 year, I went from being healthy to being diagnosed with diabetes and kidney failure with my kidney function down to 20%. I didn't look sick, I didn't feel sick at all. My dad had passed away when I was 4, and I knew nothing about that side of my family. I have since learned that kidney disease runs in my dad's side of my family. Most of that side of my family has had some sort of kidney issues, been on dialysis. In 2015, my health began to decline, and we started the process of getting on the transplant list. By changing my lifestyle and making healthier choices, I lost almost 100 pounds. My kidney function had increased from 6% to 18%. I was able to avoid dialysis, but still needed a new kidney. Years of being on and off the list due to health issues led my family and me to decide the best option was to find a living donor. About a year and a half, a true living hero and my dear selfless friend decided she wanted to save me. Because of her, I am here today, able to watch my 3 beautiful grandbabies grow and play with them. I am also the co-manager for Team New Mexico, a group of transplant recipients, living donors, and donor hero families who will be competing at the Transplant Games of America in Denver this June. More importantly, we are a team of ambassadors, passionate about saving lives by sharing our stories and encouraging people to register as organ donors. This team is deeply committed to the cause, and I am so proud to be a part of it. I share my story in hopes of saving lives, not only by asking others to become organ donors, but also by urging everyone to get regular blood work, even if you feel fine. That blood test, Natalie and God saved my life. Thank you, Natalie.
right, here we go. 100. Just kidding. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's make some